In the world of racing, there is a myth that you have to spend lots of money in order to go really fast. But is that true? And a significant portion of the money I've made over the years has gone into this 6.0 LS Swap Genesis 2013 full cage 6L 80E automatic transmission, putting out about 500 horsepower. And this project set me back a whopping $25,000. And we're still not done with it. We've got a long ways to go before this is a proper race car. And the price gets astronomically high when you consider just how little I use that performance, which has got me thinking, and it has a lot of people thinking, is this thing a complete waste of money? And I think they've got a point. I have an idea. What if we can get that kind of performance, but for half the price? You're thinking I'm crazy, but maybe, just maybe, there's a way to do it. In order to make this project a success, we need to get high performance parts at the lowest possible price. There's only one place I can think of where we might be able to get those. We don't know what we're gonna find. The gentleman that gave us the list said that the engines get pulled pretty quick. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a hard time finding the engine and transmission. Let's see what we find. And that's a pretty common situation. It's been really picked apart a lot. So at the moment, you guys, it's not looking good. Engine's got a bunch of stuff missing. The transmission's been gone through a little bit clearly. I'm a bit worried that this is gonna be a trend. If that's the case, then we'll have to figure out something else. We're gonna keep looking, but this one right here stands a chance to be the one we want. We decided to take a break and talk about the options. Searching the rest of the yard did not yield any better results. We had a decision to make. We could take our chances with other yards and hope for better results, or we can make do with what was right in front of us. The decision was, this one was it. Let's go. Here we go, you champs. But this is an SUV. That's not a high-performance sports car. That's not the goal. The goal is to build something very fast, but from very inexpensive, widely available parts. Yeah! Finally. Trucks and SUVs are the perfect donor. They have big, powerful engines and strong drivetrains to handle a lot of power. And they're very inexpensive. Round two, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the rest of the parts we need. The secondary goal here is that I want this build to be repeatable. I want others to build cars just like this one. And a truck and SUV will be widely available. So anybody out there who has access to a junkyard will be able to do exactly the same thing we're doing here. The things me and Kevin do for you guys. The ultimate goal here is to create a series for this car, kind of like the Lemon series. That way we can control the build costs and make sure that high performance racing on a blue collar budget is always available. We're done here. We have everything we need. Woo! But I've been holding off explaining something to all of you because the truth is, Kevin and I have no idea if this is going to work. We've never done this before, and we're going to do some very questionable things for the sake of saving money. And that means the likelihood of failure is very, very high. But we are willing to find out. Before we bring this puppy into the shop and get started, we need to give it a deep clean.
Looks like it just came off the factory floor.
Pretty clean. This is a make or break moment in the project. We just got all the parts from the junkyard. We need to answer one of the most important questions right now. Is this even possible? Can you take a truck or an SUV apart and rearrange it into a high performance mid-engine vehicle? We don't know. We're gonna find out right now if we can do this or not. Here we go. All right, we're going to talk about the biggest problem in this entire project. And it all comes down to this component right here. How do you take everything and scrunch it up? Turns out you can take the yoke assembly, which is this star shape right here, from the rear and swap it in here. And when you do that, this now connects directly to the solid rear axle. And that brings everything together as close as it possibly can be. That's exactly what we needed. We are gonna build a DIY LMP car from parts you can get from a junkyard, like from a truck or an SUV. Here we go. Now, of course, there is no such thing as a performance car without a performance engine. So you guessed it, we're taking this engine apart and it's getting a full rebuild. And while we're in there, we're going to put in a few aftermarket modifications. We're going to install an aftermarket camshaft, we're going to port and polish the heads ourselves, and we're going to make a couple of other custom mods like an exhaust system and intake in order to get the performance up as high as we can. Smells nice. This rebuild is not strictly necessary, and of course it will negatively affect our budget goals, but we thought this was a necessary thing to do in order to demonstrate that you can do it and that the performance gains are fairly attractive considering the amount of money you spend. What we're shooting for here is over 450 horsepower at the crank. Now that's not going to be too easy to hit, but we think we can do it. There's nothing jumping out that says there was a catastrophic failure. So we're pretty sure just a minor rebuild is all this thing needs. We'll get it back together. Now the first thing we need to fix with this engine are the heads, specifically the ports. And we're gonna do it right now. In motorsports, it is a time-honored tradition to port and polish your own cylinder heads. What we're doing is we're retuning the port. From the manufacturer, these ports are specifically designed for low and slow operation. And that's the exact opposite of what we plan to do with it. We need these ports to breathe the maximum amount of air they possibly can, so we can extract the most amount of horsepower out of this engine. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The cylinder heads are now done, which means it is time to start reassembling. Kevin and I have always enjoyed engine building. There's something about the intricacy of each component, the sequence, the uniqueness of it, the tactileness of it. It's such a wonderful experience to build engines, and I wish it was something we did more often. If you haven't had a chance to, I highly recommend it. Taking apart your engine and putting it back together brings so much pride and joy. This engine was in mostly good shape. All we needed to do was remove the old worn out components and install new fresh ones. This is cost effective and is going to provide us with a reliable engine that should last many years. The LS engine has been well tested and proven under racing conditions and is one of the primary reasons why we chose this engine. It's commonly available, inexpensive to rebuild, inexpensive to upgrade, and that's why we love it so much. This is our favorite engine, and we should be so lucky to have them in every junkyard. Alright, we need to have a quick talk. I think there's some explaining that needs to be done. Why build a race car like this? We're trying to set a record here. We want to build the fastest car that is also the least expensive. So it's time to start building the frame, and earlier in the video I said we were going to make some questionable decisions for the sake of saving some money. Well, it's now time to start doing that, and you'll see here shortly what I mean. You're gonna have to make some compromises somewhere, and the first compromise that we decided to make is gonna happen right now. The first thing we have to do is put everything back in place, and you can see right away it started off really bad. The radiator and the fuel tanks would just not cooperate no matter what we did. And the front of the car was no exception. All of the components seemed to want to be in exactly the same place, and this was causing all sorts of problems. Whoa, you guys, it has been a whole week of just non-stop fighting with us. This car just refuses to go together with the parts that we picked. Oh man. So a lot of you probably noticed that the solid rear axle is just connected directly to the transmission. And you're probably thinking, hey, that's probably not gonna work with suspension. It's just gonna bind up the second you go over a bump. Well, that's because this is gonna be our suspension. This is a polyurethane bushing. It's not rock hard, but it's also not that soft. This is how we're gonna mount the solid rear axle. It's cheap, it's easy, and we're gonna do it. And I don't wanna hear any lip about it. I'm not scared, and neither should you be.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, no suspension. This thing is a proper death cart. Now we're starting to run behind schedule a little bit, so we're gonna pick up the hustle. This is square and rectangle tubing. It's as easy as it gets. You measure, you cut, you fit, you weld. That's it.
Even though we're making good progress with this project, there's a backstory here that most of you don't know about. The truth is, this vehicle is our third attempt.
Our first attempt, we raised money through friends and family, a total of $112,000. Over the course of 3 years, we designed, researched, tested, and tried to develop the fastest, most affordable race car we could. In the end, we ended up going bankrupt. I had to get a job and raise the money myself to have a second attempt at it. The second attempt went a similar direction as the first. Too complicated, too expensive, and didn't end up working out. We went bankrupt for the second time. This time, it's gonna be different. We're well funded, and this time, we think we got it.
And pretty soon here, after 10 long, painful years, we are about to find out if we can do this or not. Here we go.
I pitched attempt number 3 on social media 12 months ago. Over 120,000 people liked, shared, and commented and demanded that we did it. I cannot begin to tell you how excited Kevin and I are. After 10 years of struggle, we are so close. All we have left to do is finish welding, painting, and assemble. And that's it. It'll go down the road for its first ever test drive. This was not an easy road. It was confusing, it was painful, and in many cases, downright depressing. But we never gave up. We continued. We stuck to it, and we pushed forward with everything we had. We have a motto for this project, and we stand by it. Death cart or die trying. And we had some problems. Hydraulic leaks, fuel leaks, and the engine wanted to stall out on us. Also, the transmission refused to shift after first or second gear and seemed to get stuck in neutral. So we brought it back into the shop, fixed what we could, made some adjustments, and topped off the fluids in the transmission. And we decided to try again. Unfortunately, after some additional testing, the transmission refused to work. So it's going to have to come back apart and we're going to have to investigate further. But we were able to get a little bit of driving out of it, just not a whole lot.
Those brakes work good.
Hey, brakes work good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is as far as we go. Now, I know that is a terrible place to end this episode. And I promise you, we are not done. Kevin and I did not spend 10 years chasing this dream and 3 attempts just to give up and quit. Oh no. No, this is just a pause. The vehicle needs work. The transmission needs to be looked at, and we need to prep the engine for the turbo. We're not done. Later this year, in the next episode, we're going to put it back together, finish the bodywork, and put it on track and see what it can do. Now, if you want to support us and you want to help make this dream come true, you can like, share, follow, and you can comment. Let us know in the comment section that you want to see this happen. Give us a cheer. Root us on. You can go to the website. There should be merchandise on the website by the time this episode goes out. And all of that helps more than you will ever know. Until next time, good luck. You're going to need it.